I know what I'm about to describe might sound a bit extreme, but hopefully it'll inspire you to seek your own bike adventure. The Tour Divide is the 4,418-kilometer route which follows the continental or watershed divide of North America. It is the longest off-pavement cycling race in the world. It starts in Banff, Canada, and ends in Antelope Wells, New Mexico, staying above an altitude of 2,300 meters at all times. This equates to 60,000 meters of climbing, the equivalent of climbing Mount Everest 7 times.
Wow.
The Tour Divide comprises 80% dirt and gravel roads, 10% single track, and 10% paved roads, and bridges the gap between bicycle touring, mountain biking, and backpacking. The term used is bikepacking. In 2008, Mary Metcalf Collier was the first lady to ride the Tour Divide. 3 women until this year had completed the race, when 5 of us ladies finished. I came 3rd, and thus the 7th woman ever to complete the race. Thanks. The Tour Divide route is open year-round, but Luke and I decided to race, as there was a greater chance of meeting fellow riders along the way. We did. 2 ladies from Texas, and a German guy and a Scottish guy. They provided plenty of entertainment. The race starts on the 2nd Friday of June. There is no entrance fee, no fanfare. Just rock up in Banff and roll out. The race is self-sufficient, meaning that we each carried our own gear. No backup was available, no medical team, no support vehicle. No drafting, towing, pushing, slipstreaming was allowed. I rode the whole way on my own. Luke and I rode GT 29ers. Nothing special, but the 29-inch wheel does make a difference. And we kitted it out with lightweight pannier systems that we had bought in the States. We self-navigated using GPS, maps, and narratives. We completed the race in 29 days, averaging 145 Ks a day, and spent 10 to 15 hours a day on our bike. The scenery varied greatly, from snow-capped pine slopes in Canada to wide open skies in Wyoming and Montana, and green high slopes in Colorado and desert regions in New Mexico. It was a real wilderness experience, especially being up close and personal with a grizzly bear on our 2nd day. We saw lots of deer, elk, moose. We were chased by rogue dogs in New Mexico, which was very scary, especially in the dark, and man-eating mosquitoes. We camped about 1/3 of the time, and then spent some of the other times in small motels or lodges, or sometimes on the garage floor of a fully booked motel. It was never too planned. We didn't know what to expect at the end of the day. Towns were interspersed about 3 kilometers apart, mostly one-horse towns, with a post office and a diner. Not much else. We would resupply our food. We went through 4 tubs of peanut butter, and then we'd have a warm meal. The temperature gradients varied greatly from -5 degrees Celsius to positive 45 degrees Celsius. Our Cape Storm gear kept us warm, but it was the heat that I struggled with, and we had to start riding in the dark to avoid the worst of it. We planned 2 short days into Breckenridge, Colorado, and Butte, Montana, to service our bikes. The only component that I changed, besides my chain at 2,000 kilometers, was my right pedal, which had been making this most irritating clunk for the past 700 Ks. The most unexpected day was the snow push through 16 kilometers of snow. We thought that we were going to have an early lunch in Whitefish. It was only 75 Ks away, but little did we know we had to push through all that snow. Luke thinks I'm a little bit disadvantaged because of my height, and I'll end up expending too much energy pushing down on the bike rather than the bike forward. But anyway, I managed. At least I wasn't the only crazy one pushing my bike and cycling, like my bike through snow. There were other people having to do it too. That's on day 10. We had a lot of mud that we had to also put up with. We actually had to push the bike through the bushes on the side of the road rather than on the road, because every 2 meters the bike would get stuck and I'd have to undo the mud and then we could go another 2 meters. On day 26, I was not doing too well. We were climbing up the Continental Divide crossing number 20, and it was just so hot and my bike just felt so heavy. I wanted to leave it right there and walk to Mexico. Anyway, I carried on because the next town had pie and a post office, and I posted 2 kgs of stuff back home, and I was very happy after doing that. On the last day, it was almost strange coming into this one building border post, Antelope Wells. There's nothing else there. It felt very surreal. We'd managed to actually cover 4,500 kilometers. It was amazing. We'd ridden from Canada to Mexico, but it was just from taking it one day at a time. Life just seems so simple when you're on a bike. All you have to do is eat, sleep, and ride.